What up, Raja? We're doing this, man, and it's going to be a good one for you to do because it's literally the same matchup you just played.
Okay.
Funny enough. So, yeah, we are. Yes. Yes, everybody can hear. Yeah, so first off, what do you you've played the matchup now a couple times
Yeah.
against Kyle. What do you think of the matchup?
Yeah. Well, first of all, hello everyone. I'm Raja. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys are familiar with me. I was just playing on camera, got destroyed. Yeah, I don't I think the matchup's fine. I think it's kind of just like for example, the matchup we played, the issue that I found was that like there was a bad mixture of spells where like game one, I took a line that expected to draw a removal spell at some point and just couldn't find one for a very long time.
Yep.
And then game two, I was just a little flooded on removal spells in a game where he was threat light. And then he stuck the planeswalker that generated a lot of value,
Mm-hmm.
So I think the approach that Trevor wants to take here is to make sure to kind of have a nice balance of threats and threat management. And I think that can help him. There's a lot of like value cards that Kyle has, a lot of engines, a lot of redundancies, a lot of four ofs, a lot of protection, like the lands getting protection too. So he has to navigate it right, but if he can, I think he could definitely win this game. One card that I really want to see both pre and post board was Liliana, because Liliana is very good at getting rid of a threat, which is great, and then threatening to do it over and over again.
Yep.
And Kyle's not very good at pressuring it.
No.
So if he's playing Liliana and he's able to stick one and kind of protect it, that's one of the best ways to win the game.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, when we've actually seen Kyle on camera. I think now this will be his third time today. He played against you. He played against Red Black earlier, which I think is the hardest. That is the hardest matchup for Kyle is the Red Black deck. We tested the deck a lot going into NRG Champs, and that was kind of our thought process is that the Red Black deck was really scary for Girk. But Green Black can do similar stuff to Red Black in the sense where like it can just kill everything and then like put some pretty good value threats into play and then kind of ride them to the win. But Liliana was always a really important card, I thought, because yeah, it kills a threat, it kills whatever threat they have, and then it is also able to like that is a deck that definitely like wants all its cards because it can just turn its cards into value in so many ways. It can use Rona, it can use Inti. So you really just want to get their cards out of their hands. So upticking Liliana is like good too. Yeah, so I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I just saw Trevor thumb through the sideboard, and I saw I think 2 Lilianas in his board. So
2 in his board.
We're seeing at least 2 in the board, maybe some in the main as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think if he can find those and position them well, that he can ride those to victory for sure. Just setting up a double edict is so huge because all of his creatures are just so important.
Yep.
And then like you said, denying resources on both sides usually favors the guy who's kind of playing some of the card engines that are and taking care of the board basically.
Yep.
So he's gonna be on the draw, which it's unfortunate as far as being able to set up the bat into
Gix.
Exactly, but it's still possible.
Yep.
It looks like maybe Kyle's taking a mulligan, or is it Trevor that's taking?
I think we're both just. I don't even know if we've even looked a hand yet. I think we're just finally. Here we go. Yep. I think we're just both taking our sevens. Let's see what they look like. Trevor's only new card is 2 copies of the new Eliminate as well. So he also went with 2. No Anoint.
Yeah, I actually played Trevor earlier in the tournament. He did mention that this is a matchup where you're going to kind of be disappointed that you don't have the Anoint, just because exiling Girk is a lot better.
Huge. Takanuma. I mean, killing stuff definitely worse than exiling stuff here.
Yep.
Let's see, is there a cut down? There's not. Okay. This is not a... Trevor does not seem to have a great hand into... He's a little land light and has a lot of threats and no reaction at all.
Looks like he's going to deploy a bat here instead of playing a Dread Knight, which makes sense. Trying to do a 3-drop here. Let's see, two options. We have the Relic and the Go for the Throat.
That is and there's that Mother Goose. I
thought that was the land.
He's playing a Mother Goose.
Oh, wow.
He cast it earlier today. I still don't even really remember. I know it's like X green blue, make X amount of clues, and then it like can attack and sack a clue, I think, and you draw a card when you do it, I believe. I don't know. I have not seen Mother Goose cast many times, so couldn't tell you 100% what this does, but kind of a rough hand to look at here. I mean, you probably have to take the Go for the Throat, but then you're just allowing the Relic to go nuts.
Yeah, alternatively, he can let him have the Go for the Throat and try again to like get time walked basically by casting the Go for the Throat.
Yeah.
Or play the Goose. Yeah, thinking the Relic here is not the worst.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
The question is, Kyle's probably just going to attack and discard one of these lands. That'll probably be step one. See
Yeah.
what he can. Oh, he hit a
Yeah,
Glissa.
so it's really
Oh
nice.
my goodness! Now he might not even discard a card.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, there's no reason to. And now we've got Inti Glissa going, and that is just disgusting. Trevor, better draw a removal spell, or things are going to get really bad. I think that was a bitter triumph. Yep, it was. All right, well,
Start.
what do we? We got to kill Glissa, right? But then we still have the Inti in play.
Yeah, I mean, at least the Gliss is guaranteed to just generate cards, whereas the
Yeah.
Inti is not necessarily card advantage as much as card selection.
And does make a bigger creature, but that's maybe manageable.
Right. We see there's at least one, looks like 2 Sentinels in Trevor's hand.
Passing is really aggressive because there's a Plaza.
Yeah, I think he might have missed up there.
Yeah, and he knows it now too.
Yeah.
I think he realizes that's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's at least it's kind of time walking him, but the problem is
the cards are so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Oh man, yeah, that's a classic. I have not played against this deck enough situation.
Yeah.
Now Glissa gets to just go nuts. And Kyle is Andrew's pick to win the tournament, which is
that's fair.
Very,
Kyle's
very reasonable.
Strong player playing a very good deck.
Yep.
I think we've seen quite a few results on social media of people just crushing their RCQs with this deck.
Yep.
It's kind of one of those decks that's like slept on because not a lot of people play it. It's kind of intricate and kind of weird, but if you can master it, it's one of those decks that really rewards you for your play skill and understanding of the deck.
Yep, and I think we've talked about too, Andrew and I, that it's a deck that really rewards you for your opponent not knowing what your deck does.
That too, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of has it all.
Things are just spiraling out of control, man.
That's...
This is so bad.
One thing I really learned about this format is it can be very snowbally. There's a lot of threats that kind of just start 2-for-1 every single turn, and once you get ahead, you just kind of
Preacher, Gix, Glissa.
Yep.
Just so many of them.
Exactly.
So many of them. Sentinel
can
do it. Shieldred does it in a way too. It doesn't like
Shield just kills you.
Yeah, Shield doesn't like generate value, but yeah, it just wins the game. So that is valuable enough.
And I think right there, Kyle kind of just prioritized the damage over. Like he knew he didn't need the Triome, so even if he whiffed on his Inti and hit like a card that you couldn't cast, he probably just didn't care because
gets it out of cut down. Gets it out of cut down range too.
Yeah,
can't get cut down anymore.
Exactly.
So now if Trevor draws a cut down, just does actual nothing.
Right.
Classic spot why you don't love cut down sometimes.
True,
This is a spot. Oh, that now it doesn't kill both creatures. It would have killed.
It would have killed his bat too if he'd done that, but
that would have been well worth it.
But now if he goes for the highest power set edict,
you sack off the Inti.
You can sacrifice the Inti.
And you still have this Glissa just rumbling away.
Yep.
At least the bat can like chump block it though, and the relic isn't like the worst thing in the world. I think there's an air tie in the hand over there too for Kyle, which is just a disaster as well.
It's gonna be a tough one to beat too.
Yeah. Not looking good here for Trevor, but post-board games are the ones where he's probably better set up anyway. So
I agree.
See what he can do. Okay, and he is going to go Dread Knight, Sentinel. So he's just going to try and establish blockers, set up for a better Gix's Command next turn, which is maybe good. That might be a good way to do it. Because now Gix's Command can like, oh boy. All right, what is this going to do? Triggers the Inti as well. We'd have Forest. That's a Slowgurk. Hate to see that. Now Slowgurk's going to protect both Inti and Glissa.
And with the Urtai in hand, Inti can go up to 4 power. If Trevor goes for a double block, he can just kill one of the creatures. Both his creatures survive.
That's so
it's gonna be rough.
Okay, maybe he didn't have it. Oh, but he could still have Airtie for all I know. I don't know. No, he's just playing Gurk. He's just Slowgurk and whatever. Now he just attack with probably only Glissa and then give it Death Touch, and we discard a land to trigger the Gurk, which will play around the Gix's Command. Yep, there's a land. We're just gonna insulate. He doesn't even. The best part is he would make this play regardless. He's not even insulating him. Like he could not even know the Gix's Command is there. He's still gonna make that play as the disgusting thing. Like,
Death Touch Trample is a nice combination. Trevor's at 7, so he can't.
First strike, Death Touch Trample. Pretty good keywords on a 4/4.
Yeah.
Holy moly, dude! What an embarrassing Gix's Command. This.
Barring a complete fumble from Kyle or. I don't even know what combination of cards gets Trevor out of this.
I mean, the funny thing is, I think there's like a 5-mana sweeper in the new set. That would still just not be good enough here. It would kill the Gurk. He'd get Takenuma back, and just like rebuy the Gurk again, and it'd still be a nightmare. It just probably still would die, and you would kill all your own stuff. Give
Yep.
him relic back. Just so brutal, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one might be a wrap.
Yeah, this is not looking good here. Trevor just
Trevor's trying to kind of figure it out right now.
do I block?
Yeah,
do
trying
I
to play it out.
do I save some life?
Yeah.
I don't know what to
Each
do.
blocker represents 1 point of life here, which is not great, but he maybe wants to redraw with the Dread Knight.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can find something.
2-mana removal spell for the Glissa could
something like that.
Theoretically keep you in the game, but the Gurk is just so big. Like next turn we attack with the Gurk and then trigger the Inti, probably discard a land. It would be a 6/6 trample minimum. It's just so bad, man. Deck is just when it has a good draw, you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
And Kyle just all the cards in the world over there. We don't even
looks
know.
like he took it. So
three we go.
So all of Kyle's cards represent lethal attackers at this point.
Yep. It's so disgusting. So disgusting.
And we know that we got the Urtai in hand too to clear a blocker.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not even sure if there is an airtie. It just the game. It just feels very over. We'll see what Trevor gets.
Trevor's a trooper. I mean, he's trying to piece it together.
What's this do again? Oh yeah, all that. Okay. So dead. We're just so dead. It's insane.
Well, his own Glissa represents a good blocker for the other 2 creatures.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Glissas will kill each other.
Okay, so I guess he has to do this and like give the Sentinel lifelink.
Yeah, try to gain back some life. Yeah, that's something.
And then
so the Gurk dies, I guess.
Yeah, the Gurk dies, and we get Takanuma and 2 lands back. Oh god. Who knows what's in Kyle's hand either? Every channel land is 1 mana right now, so
which is
Kyle can just
kind of what the deck does. It's
Kyle
pretty crazy.
Can just do whatever he wants. How about an Odawara here would just be a real. I mean, the game would
probably be lethal.
Yeah, easily. We would bounce the Sentinel. Can't lifelink it anymore. I don't think he does have an Odawara, but it's not really going to matter.
Yeah. I guess if you did have Odawara, you'd have to respond here because you can't.
Yeah, tap Gurk for blue and then get rid of the Sentinel. All right, doesn't have it. Oh, maybe he does. He's thinking about it. Oh, he just float mana. Why not?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you float it, and then you still have enough legends plus.
Yep.
Yep. You still have exactly enough to do it, which is smart because Gix's command does not target upon resolution, or targets upon resolution doesn't target as on the stack. So like, if he was to bounce in response, he can choose to put the counter somewhere else. So letting it resolve first, put the 2 counters on the Sentinel, and then Odawara is the right way to do that.
I see.
Looks like he's just
gonna Takanuma and get the Slogurk back and. Yep. What is? Oh, airtie. Yeah, that'll. Does that lock it up? Maybe not. Not quite.
6 life here, which is not bad.
Nothing. Yeah, it's a pretty nice little life swing. I mean, Kyle has lost a lot of life from the Gick or the Glissa, so I don't know. Maybe Trevor can work his way out of this. He gained 6 life there, so he should be at 9 life, I think. Pretty good. There's another map as well, 2 maps. So we'll see what he can set up.
Yeah.
Obvious play there. Cut down now, so we can get either the Bat or the Dread Knight out of the way.
Right.
A lot of stuff over there for Kyle. Can't quite see all his cards. And land drop, Plaza of Heroes, another Gurk.
So we know he does have the Urtai, right? So, okay.
Yeah, trigger
that.
I
think he might have had lethal here, right?
I don't know.
Cut down the Dread Knight, Urtai the thing, attack for what would have been 8.
Not lethal. 1 short, right? Because Trevor's at 9. Trevor should be at 9.
Okay. Oh, because he gained 6 life.
Gained 6, should be at 9.
Okay.
So 1 short, so that's why he didn't do it. May as well just leave the airtie up and do it on your opponent's turn. And
yeah, that's fair.
Hard to beat, I imagine. He also just hit another Gurk on the Exile. We'll see if he wants to do that. Probably not. It doesn't really seem to do that much for you. It does get a couple. I mean, it does get 3. Let's just draw 3, but. Kyle removed the counters from the Sentinel there, too, instead of drawing a card, just to be extra safe. Let's remove pressure from ourselves. Okay, makes sense. There's a lot of power in play over there. May as well just be safe and not lose to something weird.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe, yeah. I guess Kyle's just playing conservatively, make sure he doesn't, like you said, lose to something
It's
random.
almost an unlosable game if he just now he does okay. So he is gonna, which he still leaves up 4 mana for airtie to do this. This is just a basically an ancestral recall.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, it's
three
pretty
three
good.
mana 3 mana recall. Not bad. Every card in our hand is good with Inti. So
Right.
Trevor is at 4. Kyle appears to potentially be at 8. Trigger the Gurk, leave up airtie. Okay. Trevor has done a good job of at least like making this game close. That was pretty well navigated Gix's command. He did make it as good as he possibly could. So props to him for doing that. He's trying to work his way through this game. Okay, trying to piece together anything here.
It looks like I
like
see
2
Glissa,
land.
Sentinel, and
A Dread
Dread
Knight.
Knight. Okay. Yeah, it's
Lose life. I mean, we have to like probably lose life, draw a card. I don't see an out if we don't do that.
yeah.
So
I don't think we just blockers in the way. I mean, he doesn't have any attacks anymore.
oh,
except for the
map onto a
bat.
lifelink and flyer. Okay,
Sure.
okay, this could be good enough.
So
I guess.
we know that Kyle has a cut down, but I don't know if Kyle wants to tap out of Urtai here. So
Yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, I think you just wait. You can just wait. If
well,
he
you
maps again, then you could do it.
oh wow, he's choosing to cash in the Urtai here.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
he can still cut down with the air.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
God dang it, man.
So if he was gonna take this line of blowing up Sentinel, I guess I probably would have just done it during his turn and got an extra attack in, right? I guess yeah, because then maybe he didn't want to have the Dread Knight die. I guess maybe that's the reason, because the NC would have gone up to 4 power, and so a 3/2 didn't have a good block on either of his creatures at that point, unless Kyle just actively didn't want his Dread Knight to die.
Why would the oh, you're saying trigger onto the NT, not the Glissa?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's interesting. Then you just block the Glissa with Dread Knight.
Yep, which is fine. You're still pushing damage through.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I could definitely buy that.
But I think Kyle's so far ahead that you can't
It's
really
pretty unlosable.
You can't do this wrong at this point.
I would be shocked how we would lose this game. I guess if Trevor randomly had that 5 mana Wrath, and then we would still lose to all the lands that are in our opponent's graveyard that the Gurk would just pick up. So
yep.
And not a good position.
Yeah, 5-mana sweepers aren't usually the card to play in a bat, Glissa,
No.
Sentinel
Also,
deck.
when you're basically a creature deck,
Right.
so
mostly
like so awkward.
mostly a creature deck.
Yeah, creature deck with good removal. Okay, Trevor still is trying to piece together what he can do, but this seems like pretty lost cause.
Yeah.
But you can't fault him. It's top 8,
yeah,
so why not?
Lose.
Yeah,
time is on effect. Or
yeah. Definitely not
keep
something you would
fighting.
probably do in timed rounds, but you may as well here.
Yep.
Okay. This
Sentinel
is
number 2.
definitely called fighting till the bitter end. This is
Reed Duke style.
So obviously over. Yeah.
All right, 3 blockers.
Yeah.
Trevor's
Glissa gains death touch and trample, so we have to triple block Glissa, go to 1, and then everything else kills us easily.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward line. Hopefully Kyle will put him out of his misery.
Kyle's gonna make him suffer. Kyle's an animal. He's just gonna no, all right. Kyle's not gonna make him suffer. He's just gonna put it away.
That was nice of him.
That was nice. And look at him discard the cycle land. You want to talk about a show of strength? The land that we could cycle, draw a card with Inti.
I think Kyle's throwing, though. He played a land before triggering, so now he doesn't get the plaza. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, weak play there. Triple blocker. Okay.
All right, Trevor, this is where you right-click concede.
Yeah, very right-click concede scenario. Holy shit.
There you go.
All right, that was kind of a beating. All right, on to game 2, and I don't know.
You have the lists?
I'm gonna see. I think we might. Let's see. Trevor Dalton. Here's Trevor's. We'll give you Trevor's. You can talk about what he'll do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay. I don't actually know what this card does. I'm gonna look it up. Fade from history. Maybe that's a card that's relevant.
Exile, artifact, or enchantment, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, probably not a card that's worth bringing in. But if you, as far as things that destroy artifacts and enchantments, he's got 3 Tranquil Throwbacks, which I actually like in this matchup because it provides a 2-for-1 in blowing up a relic, but also exiling the yard is actually pretty relevant because it limits Sloger's recursion abilities as well as talking with targets and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
It's a pretty reasonable threat. So I would bring in those 3 throwbacks. He got 2 Lilianas, as we alluded to before the match started. Absolutely bring those in. That's really good here. He does have an Eklazats in his sideboard. That's one that's I'm a little it's not as high on.
Yeah,
I obviously the card can be very good, and like if you guys were watching my match, it would have been pretty good game too because we weren't doing anything and I was hitting all my lands, so a threat that would have kept demanding removal would have been really good. But not all the games go that way. Like for example, this match, I don't think game one would Eccleston would have done anything really.
it's the problem.
So the way I like to approach this matchup is really just denying Kyle all the resources. So all the removal spells, all the bats, all the Lilianas, like I said, and then the throwback. So everything wants to kind of deny him one resource and kind of hope that between that and the cards that draw you cards like Dread Knight, Sentinel, Preacher, Glissa, if those can connect and kind of give you a flow of resources as you're denying him resources and using Lilia to pressure both his hand and his board, I think that's the way to approach the matchup.
Makes sense.
What about you on your end?
So I've seen how Kyle boards in this matchup. He's going to bring the go for the throat, stuff like that. Really, just try to not lose to these 3-mana plays that the green black deck is going to do, and just kind of prolong the game because I feel like the longer the game goes, the more favored Kyle becomes because he's able to really use all his mana and just kind of assemble all the nonsense that he can set up. By the way, I was a little bit wrong on Fade from History. This one's maybe a toxic card, I guess. Each player who controls an artifact or enchantment creates a 2/2 bear, and then you just destroy all artifacts or enchantments.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess on one hand, you usually just lose the poison out of the toxic stick. It's very rare that they deal you lethal damage.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're just turning their mites into bears, I don't know if that's really going to make
only one. You just get one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, each player just gets one bear and then just destroy all artifacts or enchantments.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I don't
just
hate that.
turn all their mites and hives into a bear.
Yeah. So you have to make sure to play the game and not to get sidetracked on a different matchup here, but you have to kind of manage their non-artifact threats and then kind of finish with that. That's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a cool one.
Yeah, definitely not for this matchup though.
Nope, not going to come in here. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Trevor gets to be on the play now. That's good. Hopefully, okay. Gix's Command, Dread Knight, Sentinel. How many lands we got there? I don't see many lands. Maybe 2.
I think definitely at least the cottage. I'm not sure if there's a swamp behind the cottage.
Yeah, I can't tell what that. If it's a swamp, it's probably an okay hand.
Yeah, I think he's got a Dread Knight too for a redraw on turn 2 if he misses on the.
Kyle's on a mole too.
That's
definitely what Trevor needs. Yep. And it sounds like our backup match is I think Noah Dewey, blue black versus Esper. So
nice. Okay,
should be pretty cool.
That'd be a fun one.
Yeah. Very close matchup. So Dewey might be a little favored because of the wedding announcements, but Noah has Spell Pierce, which is very good against wedding announcements. So
true.
We'll see if Dewey can get the wedding announcements down. That's typically what the matchup's about. Getting wedding down, getting virtue down. You can get those down when he is at parity or ahead. Will typically win games, but if he can't establish those, could be in trouble.
Right. I think I saw a Liliana in Trevor's hand too.
So that's really
we have
good.
Opportunity to see kind of what that card does in this matchup.
Yep.
If he's able to guess on 3 on a 1 creature board.
Kyle on a mulligan too makes it even better.
Exactly.
Liliana really good at punishing mulligans. Yeah, Trevor's biggest weakness is it looks like a 2-land hand. So you would know as well as anybody that sometimes the 2-land hands do not convert in green black. But like he does the Dread Knight redraw. I mean, it's unlikely that he would miss, but
it happens.
It does.
All right. Kyle's keeping 6.
Kyle kept it. Cottage must be a swamp as that last card. It's one of those like fancy ones. That's not a land. That's a bat though. Or is that a bat? No, Bitter Triumph actually. Yeah, lose life, draw a card. All right, land. Come on, land. That is not a land. It's another redraw though. I think it's another Dread Knight, but not really what we wanted. But I guess we draw a land. We're happy.
Kyle didn't have a play here,
which was not a land. It's another Lily. That is disgusting. Are we about to miss another land? I think we're going to miss another land.
I've seen this so many times. So many times.
Man, Magic sucks.
Does he have to discard?
Oh my god. No, because he was on the play. Oh my god, there's a Glissa, but we do have Bitter Triumph. We also have Liliana. We can't cast it. It's another removal spell at least though.
Yeah.
He's got to go for the throat probably. Just chop it up and move on.
Yeah, I would have go for the throat there.
Yeah,
we know
Planeswalkers.
We know that Jace. I learned the hard way that Jace is pretty good in this matchup. So I don't know why he didn't go for the throat there. It's kind of
doesn't really make any sense because why do that one first? Because you don't even know if you want to discard or lose 3 life yet.
Later on,
Trevor.
Well,
oh boy.
Hopefully, on a positive note, hopefully Trevor's kind of learning some of the nuances here. Not tapping off the removal spell when the plaza's down. Saving your removal spell that hits planeswalkers for the Jace.
Definitely.
Things like that. I mean, it's Magic's a hard game. This is round what are we at, 7?
7, yeah.
Yeah, so it's you just gotta kind of learn from it.
Yep, he does get a bat here.
Yeah, well,
He
he's still,
could theoretically still win. He did miss lands forever, which is pretty bad. Ooh, that's a good hand.
That's pretty good.
That is a good hand,
Yeah.
man.
So knowing that we have a go for the throat, I think we leave Shieldred.
Yeah.
Especially because
Make him tap all that mana.
Yeah,
I'd hit the Gurk. I think we got to hit the
I
Gurk.
think the slow
That's
Gurk's the pick.
going to be a huge problem if
Yeah.
we leave that in hand.
Yep.
Typically, when a deck is named after a card, that is one of the better cards in their deck. So
Yep.
may as well just take it away.
Agreed. Okay, so it looks like Trevor did that.
Uh-huh. Kyle's smart. He'll know that the Shieldred being left in hand probably means removal spell. So he probably won't even play the Shieldred here. We'll see. Maybe he still will. Yeah, all right. Mana efficiency. He's just going to go mana efficiency here.
Yep.
And
So,
now we just get a Lily Edict.
I think Trevor should just take the 2 here. I mean, you're at a comfortable life total.
He did.
It's
We still have those Dread Knights on Adventure, too. If we just find lands, like, we can definitely still win this game. Just a multitude of spells.
Yeah.
So
we're going to have to deal with like that.
That Jace is annoying, but
it's manageable.
It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Now no reason to attack. It got plussed on.
Correct.
Okay. Let's see.
So we drew a Sokinzon, which is a nice way to pressure Liliana if we wanted to get Liliana off the board. It's also a nice combination here with Inti. So Kyle's gonna have a nice turn come up here.
Yeah, probably just goes Inti, channel, trigger. We'll see though. Maybe he has different plans.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he's got a card that to discard. So he can just play the Inti first. Although I'm sure
the funny
Trevor
thing
should
is,
kill it first.
The stupid thing is like Inti does not care about Liliana at all. In fact, it like welcomes it to plus because
right. I mean, the idea is that you get the Inti off the board with the Liliana or another card, and then you plus. So it's a little awkward, but all right. He's doing
surprise,
it anyway.
yeah.
Trigger
there wants to flip a land. Ooh, that's a pretty bad flip actually. You wanted that one. All right, well, we'll get to kill the Liliana, and Trevor just says, "Yep, makes sense. All this makes sense." Well, we get the Lily. The second Lily now sucks because
the Sokinzon's a pretty nice one for.
Yeah, do you good at Lily insulation?
Correct. So, however, Trevor, I'd make sure to get the Inti off the board before he untaps. Right? We know he's got to go for the throat, right? So this might be kind of a go for the throat plus either bat or play a Mosswood Dread Knight. We know that Kyle's hands 2 lands, but I'd probably be tempted to cast the bat.
I would bat.
So that should be the play.
Although Dread Knight does
just double Dread Knights. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like leaving Inti in play just because it's
so dangerous.
Full of channel lands.
It's so dangerous.
I mean, even just attacking is enough to get it going. I mean, he's got the Dread Knights on defense, but
I guess he's just doing it to pressure the Jace,
which is reasonable.
It is.
You definitely want to get that off the board.
We also know that Trevor does have Gix's Command in hand, so if he draws untapped land or has an untapped land, is that an untapped land?
Is it a cottage or?
That is an untapped land, which means now we can Gix's Command 2 counters on bat.
Yep.
Just kill the entire table.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice one.
Oh, we don't. Oh no, we do get to kill the entire table. Yeah.
Now I guess you could technically activate Plaza in response because it does make it indestructible. So
Gix's Command destroys. It's true.
And then he wouldn't have an attack with the Dread Knights because of the fact that it'd be indestructible, right?
You probably just send him anyway, though, to kill the Jace, right? You could still guaranteed kill the Jace, which I think you're fine with, and then you just adventure again.
Well, it's not. So he plussed on something, I assume.
Oh, he plussed on this.
Okay,
yeah. You're right. So I guess we just send one of them and say whatever,
Well, so he's gonna put 2 counters on the bat, which is unblockable anyway. So I don't think attacking with Dread Knight makes any sense unless you actively want it to die.
Yeah, unless you think that adventure next turn is worth it.
Right.
And given that his hand is just all spells because he missed lands forever, you probably don't want to do that.
Oh, interesting.
Trampling. You don't want to kill your own
bat.
bat.
You don't want to give him the slow Gurk back.
Yeah, he figured it out. All right. Do this.
So
this Dread Knight dies to the. Oh no, it does.
But he's not. Okay. God, this isn't the way the card really works. I don't know if we should call a judge over because he looks like he did it in response. So we might need to stop this match real quick.
Go do that. Raja's just gonna do that, and all right, cool. So Raja's gonna pause them real quick. Yeah. Okay, so while they're doing that, we'll just get this all figured out. That Dread Knight should die. That's not the only problem, obviously. That's one problem. Then what Raja was saying is that the Gix's command does not target. The counters just go on the thing. Although, yeah. Kyle could just do it after the counters are put there, though. So I don't know that it really matters that much. I don't know. We'll see. I guess if Kyle needed the mana, Kyle has enough mana though that he can just 4 mana bounce it after it gets counters. So I don't think it's going to matter that much. We'll see though. So Raja, what I was just saying is Kyle has enough mana here that he can just do it after the
Afterwards,
counters.
right.
So, but he'll have to tap more lands.
True.
So,
Yep.
but he does have enough to do it anyway.
But he gets to re-choose the target, like what he puts counters on at this point. So it is relevant.
Okay.
So now the Dread Knight has the counters instead of the bat just not the instead of not having counters. Basically, he gets counters.
I see.
Yeah. So looks like that's been cleaned up.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is, shouldn't Kyle there just let Gix's command resolve all of it? The spell resolves, the bat gets the counters, and then you just bounce the bat because he had enough mana.
I think he should have. It looks like he didn't. Though,
oh, okay,
so.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. This is Kyle. I mean, Kyle's like really low on resources, and Trevor just has all spells.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
that's what happens when you miss land drops.
Yeah.
You spend your turn drawing a card, basically.
Yeah.
Drawing 2 cards. Really.
Potentially a Screw Beats Flood game. Although, I mean, Gurk is pretty threatening with Otawara and Sokenzan. And is that a Takanuma up there? I think it might be.
Yeah.
So a weird position.
We know he's got a second Liliana, right?
We do.
Yeah, so I think I would start there. I mean, he's going to get the value back on it. But I don't think we can afford to. I guess, I wonder if you can ignore it for a bit.
Yeah, we will see.
If he spends his turns like channeling lands and then redeploying a Slowgurk, I think that's probably fine for Trevor.
He's just got to try and pressure, right?
Yeah,
you have to try and
get rid of the Jace.
Right, get rid of the Jace.
So he might respond here with
Otawara.
Yeah, or Takanuma, depending on.
I imagine you might just Otawara the Dread Knight here, so you keep your
Otawara?
Jace.
I think that's Rona.
Oh, I thought there was Otawara plus Rona.
I think he used Otawara last turn when he played the Gixis command. So I think we see a Rona and a Takanuma in Kyle's hand.
Oh, it's Takanuma. Okay. Yep. Channel.
So he's responding. Okay. Makes sense. Gives him more land options, and he can't use Takanuma once the Slowgurk is gone. Costs 4 mana.
Yeah, you really want to hit more Otawaras. Okay, you hit another Sokenzan. Which I don't know if that really matters, but
just looking there too. It's got 3 counters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got 3 counters, so you can just return the Gurk to his hand.
Oh, because it hit 2 lands.
Yep. So now he gets to bounce the Gurk. Oof.
Yeah.
What a stupid card, man. Slowgurk is so good with these channel lands. It's so nuts.
Yeah, Kyle's got some options though. Still, he's got to figure out what he wants to bring back. Okay. So now he's resolving the land creature trigger. Yep, brings it back to the hand. Gets 3 lands. So now we got an empty board for him to finish his Jace off. And
I imagine he should do. Cannot imagine leave Jace.
I wouldn't. And then I think he's got Sentinel as a follow-up. So
yeah, not the worst.
No.
Not in great shape from either side. It's hard to tell who's winning right now, but
yeah, I'll say it's close. I think
it is close.
Kyle might have more inevitability.
Yeah, that's the problem.
As the lands kind of develop and the
engine
starts.
Every land drop he hits is just so dangerous.
Yep. So he does kill the Jace.
Yeah, you got to do that. But yeah, I mean, every addition, and eventually he's going to hit a relic, and that's when things get really bad.
So he's got 2 bats in hand. I think he's
probably bat the Gurk.
Right?
Yeah, bat the Gurk,
which is definitely a good play here.
Yeah,
I think that's the right thing to do.
Bat the Gurk.
Oh,
spells.
Yep.
A lot of good ones still, but yeah, you think you got to bat the Gurk. Okay. Huizinga or Noah? Good. All right. So Noah Huizinga's in the finals with the deck I won with, blue black.
Very good deck.
Very good deck.
Yeah.
Turns out Mogged can make a good deck. Who knew? It's literally a battle of the Mog decks there because Dewey's on literally Mogg's list currently. So,
Very nice. So takes the Gurk. All right. So a lot of options for Kyle here. He's going to start with the NT, which makes sense if he plans on channeling. He wants to, oh yeah. So he's going to play a second legendary creature, which will let him channel for 2 now. Some 1/1s, probably to pressure that Liliana. Exiles an NT, which he couldn't cast this turn. And was attacks Lily with both tokens, which makes sense. So Lily's gone.
Taylor, yes, the new cards are legal today. I know that. Yeah, it's weird. It like very recently changed. Raj and I were talking about this morning actually because he was not aware they were actually good for today. He was able to get all the new cards that he wanted to play, which was cool. But yeah, they are legal at SCG2. We've seen a few of them, not many of them. Sharp Eyed Rookie was in Raja's deck. The new Eliminate, or 2 copies are in Trevor's deck. Some amount were in Raja's deck too. Other than that, we really didn't see. Noah has Cloak.
It's in the sideboard, right? That's a cool one. Yeah, that card is like probably
good and
one
standard
of my
for
favorite
sure.
card in the set.
Okay,
I think it's really powerful.
Yeah,
Slept-on card.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it'll be playable in like Pioneer?
I think so.
You think it
will
will be
even modern
playable?
Like off Stone Fortress packages? I think it might be playable.
That's exactly what Andrew was saying too. He thought Azorius Hammer might be able to utilize that card.
Definitely.
So
I'm obviously blue biased control,
not
Hammer. So
Oh, I agree.
That's not my. To see if it's worth playing in that deck.
Not my kind of card. It kind of gives me nightmares to play a card like that, and then it's my opponent temp lockdowns me and eats all my cloaked creatures. So I don't know that I want to be spending mana to do all that.
But you still have you still get to bring it back and do it again.
It's true. And then they say no more lies. Stop lying to me, and then put it away.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Every deck that
I was
every
referring
card
to modern, not Pioneer, but yeah,
that's fair.
Pioneer too. Yeah, that's true.
I just hate losing to blue white so much in Pioneer. If I don't think a card lines up great in the blue white, I don't know. Anyway,
so it looks like he spent his turn playing a Sentinel and then a Dread Knight from the Adventure Zone, and attacking Kyle, which you eventually got to kill him, right? So, I see he's got a removal spell left over. I think he should probably deal with one of these before he untaps.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
NT might be a little more threatening, but I guess the Rona does get to flip potentially. But I would definitely fire something off here.
Yeah, you got to kill one.
I don't like just passing. So
no,
looks like he's
not.
contemplating something, which is good. He learned his lesson around Playground Plaza.
Yep, it's in play. It was in play last time too.
Right.
All right, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. They're both really good.
Well, it's rewarded so far because he drew a second Rona. So we'll see.
Yep.
Draw.
A Gurk.
Slow Gurk. That's scary.
Trevor does have him on a lot of pressure, but is there an Otawara in our hand? I think there is, which is God. It's just stupid. The Gurk, man. He's just so slimy. Just such a slimy card.
Yep.
And someday Kyle's gonna find a relic too, and that's when things get really bad. That's a go for the throat. So now we really have to think here. Tough call for Kyle. There's another Gurk under the bat. There's a Sentinel, which we don't mind killing. There's the Manland. We have Otawara too. He pitches Otawara. Okay, interesting. Makes sense because he can do all sorts of trickery with Takanuma, mill, more lands, get Gurk to be able to remove counters to get back the Otawara and the Takanuma. And
right.
So a lot of tricky nonsense here.
Right now you can play both the Go for the Throat and Takanuma channel, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. Slogurk's such a good blocker too. It's so annoying, man. Trevor, what do? You kill it and then just give your opponent the value, or it's just like.
I wonder why Kyle killed it during his turn, because Green Black can't really respond. I think he could have seen, if maybe he wants to start mapping or
Shieldred save it for that.
Yeah, he's about to use a map here. He might have used it on a target there that he wants to hit. But
yeah,
that's fine either way. I think.
Yeah,
targeting the Sentinel is a much safer play.
Kind of seeing exactly what
we're
seeing exactly what we talked about before. We're like, the game is starting to go really long, and that is really good for Kyle because.
So the idea behind Golgari in this matchup is you want to kind of shrink the game down, shrink the resources, kind of provide a reasonable clock that's mitigating his threats. The longer the game goes, by far the worse for Trevor. You're playing Golgari versus the Slogurk deck. He doesn't have an engine that can really keep up with what Kyle's doing. If he brought in the frillbacks like I kind of suggested, not that he would know that, but I think maybe that's one way to at least kind of slow down Slogurk's engine.
Yeah.
But either way, I think he's kind of falling behind to what's going on here.
Okay. All right, and I am gonna have to step away. So Andrew, you can hop back in the booth here, and we'll see who takes this down. We'll see if it is two Swish members against each other. Noah Heisinger versus Kyle would be pretty cool. And then could you grab me those two boxes of cards? Thank you. All right.
See you later, Declan.
See you later, guys. Enjoy the rest of the stream, everyone.
All right, Andrew, how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, it's going. All right. So we see the Sentinel deployed. We're gonna pop. Looks like a map immediately, targeting the 3/2 Dread Knight. We see. Is that the new removal spell?
I believe that's No More Lies.
No More Lies. No More Lies.
Or not No More Lies. Long Goodbye.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that.
So it gets a counter. He leaves it on top. It looks like he attacks with the Dread Knights and a bat. Looks like Slogurk is lining up in front of the 4/3 Dread Knight, which makes sense because he's about to outsize it with his Takanuma. Yep. So goes to a 5/5, flips over. Looks like 2 lands, and I'm not sure what that last card is, but it's gonna get bigger by at least 2.
Would you have done this before declaring blocks? So then
Probably because he only had
kill
1
the
mana
bigger
up.
one.
Yeah, he only has 1 mana up. So I think that might have been a small misstep from Kyle. Probably not likely to matter too much, but it would have been the optimal play to do that especially because with 1 mana he can't really blow that out with a cut down or anything like that.
No,
So
not like that.
pretty safe. So it looks like he's taking 6 here and gaining 1. And he's passing. So Kyle taps, has a lot of things going for him right now. Probably gonna start the turn off with the Rona loot if I had to guess. Yep, there we go. I see Titania, Urtai, and is that a Sokenzan? Oh, Inti. So he discards Urtai, plays it Inti.
This will just let him draw basically 2 cards.
Yep. Draw. Discards that Plaza. Yep, Plaza, trigger. Hits a Titania. He already had 1 in hand, now he's got 2. This will untap his Rona. Keep it kind of going if he wants.
Tech for 7.
Discards nothing, it looks like. Okay. So that's 8 damage coming across. What's this? Oh, okay.
It's like a man just balancing it.
Yep, makes sense.
You got enough legends where all the lands are just basically free.
Yep, and then he'll be able to use one of those lands to recast the Slogurk.
Yeah. I like grabbing the Plaza of Heroes here. It's not really good this turn, but on next turn you can use it to give something hexproof.
For sure.
And just give extra layer of protection.
Yeah, the thing is basically a Utopia land in this deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's casts all your spells and,
so much value.
Right. Wonder if Kyle's gonna wait till I think he can more or less protect his Slogurk. I think is the rationale behind not casting it here, which makes sense. If he gets anointed or something, you might not know that Trevor's not playing anoint. So just choosing to leave up some of his channel lands. Trevor untaps, draws the removal spell that we knew he was drawing. Yeah, things are. Trevor just doesn't have enough pressure or kind of catch up mechanics here to keep up with Kyle. So I think,
Yeah, and we're getting close to the point where this Rona, when Trevor's life total gets low enough, this Rona's just going to flip and just start tagging for 5.
Right.
And he has to block it, which then is just going to eliminate all the cards in his hand.
Exactly. So we see Sentinel plus the new 2-mana removal spell from Murders of Karlov Manor. Is it murder at Karlov Manor?
Your guess is as good as mine. It's something Manor.
I'm too old to keep up with these set names. I have a vague
Ravnica,
understanding of what the cards do. That's about it.
Ravnica, Ixalan. Now it's I don't know.
It's not Markov. It's Karlov, as in Teysa Karlov, I believe.
I have no idea.
Teysa. The old Orzhov legend from Ravnica block. Okay, we're seeing some
Now, does
channeling.
the cottage,
Aurora.
does it have trample?
It does not. It does not. It's got an attack trigger that exiles a card from your yard and creates a food.
Yeah, and Kyle's just going to bounce it because he doesn't want any of his graveyard. Basically, it's an extension of his hand at this point with the Gurk.
Exactly. I'm sure Kyle would prefer that to be a Beseju, but Odawara will do just fine here. Now, we saw in game one, Trevor's not one to concede in a bad spot. I think he's going to fight it out here, which why not, you know? It responds by targeting a rule spell at Rona. Kyle is going to, of course, activate, especially with NT in play. It's kind of free here.
And we have another Inti trigger that's going to happen for the Odawara as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen that exiled yet. Looks like Trevor responded to that trigger. Of course, Titania gains him life as well off this Odawara discard. And
Another Titania.
Okay, I didn't need none copies. There's a Beseju. Okay. So Rona's dead. He gains 2 life. He gets another Inti trigger, which hits
another copy Inti. Okay.
Yeah, his deck is just very redundant. Really doesn't care about the legend rule just because if he's got any of them in play, he's happy. If they're gone, then he wants another copy of them.
And you can just buy them all back with Takanuma at any point.
Exactly.
It's just super redundant.
Looks like he's attacking with Dread Knight and Sentinel. He's putting in maybe at least one of the Sokens on 1/1s in front of the Sentinel. Why not? You know, gain some life. They're not doing much else on the sport state. And takes the 5 from the Dread Knight. He's going to crack a map here from the Sentinel post-combat. Looks like he's targeting the bat with nothing underneath it, potentially.
He's just thinking. Might have been better just to do this pre-combat, maybe on the...
Well, so he got it from the Sentinel attacking in
Oh,
combat,
sure. Okay. Yeah. Can just target the Sentinel and then just get it bigger.
I think he might
or
be
just go after the Dread Knight.
Yeah, okay. So that outsizes the Titania now. If it's spelled, we hit a land instead. So happy to draw a card, not happy to have a creature that still doesn't really rumble with a 3/4 very well.
Yeah, pretty much. But now we're going to have Slogurk that's protected.
Starts with the Beseju from exile from the Inti trigger. We know he's got the Slogurk. He was, you know, conservative with it last turn. Now he gets rewarded by being able to play it with a bunch of mana up, with multiple plazas up. Channel's talking to him immediately. So he's going to gain 2 life, you know, get that plaza off NT, and flips over. Oh,
it's like a Rona, Jace, and Lounge.
Yeah, and that Jace is an option for him, but decides to just take the Glister that was already in his yard instead, which is fine. The card's
just shores up his defense.
Exactly.
I believe I see a Beseju in Kyle's hand.
Okay. So I can deal with one of the cottages in play. Looks like he might have gained 2 more life somewhere. Maybe forgot to announce it off the Titania.
Would have been off the Takanuma.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him declare it.
Yeah. All right, so Trevor drew Shieldred, which is not nothing on this situation where Kyle is running kind of low. He's got some bats they were evasive. The problem is the Titania's got reach.
Yeah, the problem is we've only seen one Odawara. If he found a second Odawara, he could really unclog this board.
Yeah.
But the fact that his Dread Knight's a 5/4 with trample.
Yep.
And there's really nothing that can challenge it at this point.
Well, the Glissa does, but you know.
Yeah, now with the Glissa in play, yeah, we can do it now.
Yep. So he's gonna play Sentinel, probably with intention of mapping immediately. Looks like he's gonna target probably a bat at this point.
I would probably go for a bat at this point.
The non-summoning sick Sentinel is interesting. Okay. Sees a Dread Knight, puts in the yard. The only problem with this is that like the Sentinel doesn't. I guess the bat didn't really attack either because like we said, the Titania is there, so he doesn't really have any attacks anywhere. So he's gonna cast Shieldred and probably pass. See if Kyle's got any responses, or I guess effects during his end step. weighing his options. Slogger is 1 land away from being able to return to hand. Like Seiju Channel will probably target one of the cottages. Trigger.
Probably at this point, yeah.
So gain 2 life, NT trigger, and puts a counter on Slogger. And there's Audora that you're referencing. Although he can't channel one from exile, it's got to be kind of put into play as a land.
Yeah. But I believe he plays 4 of them, so I mean, it's only a matter of time before he finds the other copies.
Yep. So returns off Slogger. Audora as a shield should be triggering NC and Titania again. There it is. Oh, that's all.
A little unfortunate there for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Relic of Legend.
Oof. That plays it. And like Kyle could theoretically do some attacking this turn if he wanted, like with Lissa, with NT, but like he doesn't really have a reason to. Yeah, exactly. Like he just kind of wants to hold down the fort until he can kind of reach that point of inevitability. That's just kind of he turns away from this fort state. Tail Takanuma again. Trigger. There's the 4th Odawara.
Oh my gosh. That's
with
horrible.
one in play and 2 in exile, Kyle cannot have more than 1 going this game, which is a little awkward, but I don't think it's gonna be a game.
I don't think it's that bad, but
right. I think you jinxed them, man.
Something.
3 Odawaras exiled in
My goodness.
a turn cycle here.
Now, can the Takanuma just buy back any planeswalker or creature, right?
Yes. Yeah, anything.
So he could realistically just keep buying back Jace the Perfected Mind and just mill Trevor out. That's probably if he's running out of Odawaras, it's going to be difficult to just push damage.
Yeah.
So it's probably just going to be, that's going to be the line.
Yeah, I can see
it's
that.
It's just going to be a 5-mana play every turn, which is pretty easy to achieve with the Relic of Legend.
For sure. Kyle counting his library. He was running a little low there. Yeah, that Jace is nice because it does give him a non-combat way to end the game. Yeah. See here. So he does get that Jace, like you said.
I think we're also going to start possibly seeing Slogurk. The other option you can do is like Slogurk get like super big with NT giving trample. That's like our only other option at this point.
Yep.
Especially with all the Odawaras gone.
Yeah. And like we saw game 1, Glissa NT is pretty nice because the Death Touch trample first strike makes it pretty hard to rumble with.
And this will make him mill 15 cards.
Right. Yep. So he hard casts it, no life paid, which will give it 5 loyalty, and he -5s immediately. So I think, yep. I don't know how many more of those Trevor could withstand. Probably, I mean, at most 2 more, even maybe 1 more might be enough to kind of get him pretty low because this has been a long game. There's been a lot of mapping, Dread Knight activations, etc. So
yeah, I guess the real question is how many Takanumas can Kyle still use? Because his deck's looking super thin.
Right. That's true. Yeah, they're in Inti, is that a May? I know
I don't believe
the attack
so.
trigger is a May, but the exile trigger, the discard trigger is.
I believe that's a mandatory.
Yeah, which is gonna also cut into.
So you go from 3 cards to 4 cards.
Exactly.
Oh, we drew another Shieldred, so. But I think at this point we're too far gone on the Shieldred being the way to win.
I agree. Yeah, with Kyle at 13 and the Titania.
This is maybe a bit of a misstep because just like we were talking, it's mandatory. So
yeah, Kyle might have wanted that to die at this point.
Yeah.
I get Trevor seeing it as the only like live target here and wanting to, limit, I guess, Kyle's options next turn. But yeah, kind of a weird spot where drinking from a fire hose at some point you just kind of want them to
yeah,
to be
exactly.
forced to tap into that resource over and over again.
Looks like we have Beseiju in hand, so the Beseiju will let us buy back the Gurk. Plaza of Heroes doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, I am curious if we can get a library count on Kyle. Curious to see how many he's got left there. Kind of ambiguous from this
Yeah,
lineup.
there can't be that much left.
No, it can't be.
Then bounce the Gurk, flip the mana, bounce Gurk, get Takanuma.
Mm-hmm. 2 Takanumas and the 1 Odawara. Okay.
Then play the Gurk. How many Jace Perfected Minds can we do? We can do, because so all those legends tap for mana.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 6.
So this is
What,
gonna be
7, 10 mana?
2 counters on the Gurk. Get back Jace.
Yeah, so we can cast Jace twice this turn.
Yeah, so that probably should be enough. Not probably, it's definitely enough.
Yeah, mill 15. Yeah, there's almost no way for the game going this long.
Kyle can do it again. Channel. Do it again. That's enough. Boom. Game over. I'm curious how many cards Kyle had left in his library.
Oh,
It
that might have
looks-
been, that actually might be, that mill might have been the last cards.
Yeah. Which, granted, Kyle on the last turn, because he's not drawing cards, he can just do as many
Yeah,
times
he can do as
needs
many
to.
as he wants. Yeah.
But yeah, close call. All right, so that makes the finals Kyle versus Noah.
Yep, and Noah's on the blue black deck, and then Slogurk nonsense.
Right.